Perfect.
Fantastic. Welcome. And thank you all for joining us for today's session. My name's Adam. I'm the coordinator of the Community Activation and Learning team at Melton City Council. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners, traditional custodians of the land from which I'm on today, those of the Kulin Nations. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and any First Nations people that may be here today. The session today is titled Lessons from Supporting Our Community During a Pandemic. Today's session is going to be recorded and it will be available on the Global Learning Festival website for the duration of the festival. The whole world has been through an unimaginable stress caused by the coronavirus pandemic. And here in Australia, Victoria was one of the hardest hit states with cases, lengthy lockdown periods and ongoing restrictions. We've asked a range of our colleagues from across council to reflect on the last year that they've had and to share their insights, their challenges, their opportunities, and most importantly, their lessons learned. These have all been compiled and captured in a short video presentation, which we're going to share shortly today. That's then going to be followed by a brief Q&A session. The video features the following Melton City Council staff members. We have Sara Bowen from Early Childhood Services, Nicole Martin from Young Communities, Jade from Youth Projects, Darren Cunningham, our Positive Aging Officer, Sara Rastuccia and Taylor Gillespie from our Libraries team, Christine Cedar from our Economy and Development team, and from our Community Planning team, Dell Rego, Lynn Harding, Essan Delary, Mina Bagrami, and Catrice Lumley. Please get comfortable and enjoy this short video. It goes for around 15 minutes in duration. And if you have any questions during the video presentation, please put them in the chat. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Catrice and I'm a Community Activation and Learning Officer with the Melton City Council. I manage the Melton Central Community Centre, where we have a diverse range of people that access the centre for all sorts of different purposes, like learning, English or employment services, family services, and just as a nice space for community to come together.
My name is Sara. I am the Early Childhood Facilitator in the Families and Children's Department at Melton City Council. So within our department, we provide a really wide variety of programs and services for children aged 0 to 12 years. On top of that, we also manage enrolment for 3 and 4-year-old funded kindergarten at various locations across the City of Melton. So we really provide lots of different things for families and children, and our team is about 80 staff members at the moment, I believe. So lots of different things happening within our department.
Hi, I'm Christine Cedar. I'm the coordinator of the Economic Development team at Melton City Council. My unit is predominantly works with local businesses, small to medium size. We deliver programs to help support them to grow, connect and excel in their business endeavours, and they can range from start-up businesses or people with ideas right through to investors that are coming into the municipality.
So my name is Jade and I'm the team leader of the Youth Projects team within Young Communities. So my team oversees a number of externally funded programs, which is we have a youth homelessness program, a crime prevention program and a mentoring program.
Hi, my name is Sara Rastuccia and I'm the team leader Literacy Learning and Partnerships at Melton City Libraries. My role within Melton City Libraries is really to do with library programs. So I work with the team that develop and deliver the programs across both libraries and also at some of our outreach locations too. So talking to kinders, schools and other such locations where we might be able to reach the community where they are.
Hello everyone, my name is Essan. I'm the team leader for diversity in intercultural development within the City of Melton. And my role involves working with different community groups. I've been working very closely with Melton Interfaith Network in a number of other community groups. And I've been also working, of course, with my colleagues on a project called Melton Local Partnership project focusing on COVID-19 pandemic, helping communities, and also promoting messages around vaccination. That's what I have been doing.
Hi everyone, I'm Lynn Harding from Melton City Council. I'm the team leader of Community Activation and Learning Centres. That role is a number of community centres across the municipality, so they're local, geographically based centres in neighbourhoods where people can come and meet each other for a whole variety of reasons. So that's what I normally do.
Hi everyone, my name is Darren Cunningham and I'm the Positive Ageing Officer at Melton City Council, and I work with seniors, which are people over 65 years of age, and my role is a community development role with the community to help provide a better community for seniors to live in and visit and age well in.
So my name is Dell. I am one of the health and wellbeing project officers here at Melton City Council. And my role is to facilitate the Daughters of the West program, which we run in collaboration with the Western Bulldogs Community Foundation. And the Daughters of the West program is a 10-week women's health program that involves half of the sessions are an education session on various health topics, and then the second half of the session is physical activity.
I'm Taylor Gillespie. I work for Melton City Council in the library as the Education Partnerships Facilitator, and my target audience is secondary school students and their teachers, as well as tertiary students and education institutions.
Hi, my name is Mina and I'm Community Activation and Learning Acting Team Leader with the City of Melton. My role is basically managing one of Melton City Council's community centres, working closely with the community and also acting at the moment in the team leader role, supporting our team.
Hi, my name's Nicole Martin. I work for Melton City Council's Young Communities team. We work with young people within the City of Melton, aged between 12 and 25.
The past 18 months of lockdowns and restrictions have had a huge impact on business sustainability, local jobs, and the personal welfare of business owners and their employees. The Economic Development Team could no longer deliver its recurrent programs that were strategically geared to support business startups, enable business growth, create connections, and drive business excellence. Our programs became irrelevant to business community facing extreme hardship.
So for us, the major challenges during lockdown has been that our department provides virtually all of their services and programs and activities face-to-face. So obviously lockdowns meant that the vast majority of those programs and activities and even our services had to cease or were drastically changed. So for us, that was, that meant scrapping virtually everything and starting again.
Well, looking at 18 months back with all those lockdowns and the pandemic, I think the main challenge for my team and our work was how do we engage with the community, because we basically lost all the connections we had with the community. We weren't able to run face-to-face programs. So the main challenge for us was how to re-engage with the participants, with the community, and how to identify the new needs.
I think some of the key lessons that we learned as a team over the last 18 months was that supporting each other is number one, and it does achieve the best outcome for the community in terms of our service delivery. Something else I think that we've learned is really embracing the challenge and being open to it actually being an opportunity that we can learn from and expand upon and really grow as people and grow as a library service.
To get to this point, we really needed to work on the expertise of our staff and understand where they're at as well as where our community is at, so we can understand what we can deliver. And in a lot of cases that meant upskilling staff and doing that quite rapidly. And I guess that can be quite a stressful situation sometimes. So just say learning should be fun. Let's not let it get to a point where it feels like it's overwhelming. Let's remember that learning new skills is actually quite exciting.
So for us, it was really about learning to quickly adapt and be flexible and come up with creative solutions on how we could continue to engage families. In terms of staff and our team, we just made sure that we checked in regularly and supported staff. They were going through their own challenges. So on top of that, having to deal with the families that we were working with their challenges as well. So just supporting them through that. But overall, I think we learned that, you know, most people are pretty adaptable, and for us, our families were quite happy to move online and continue to engage that way. So that was really great for us.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, 18 months ago now, I guess for us, the way that we had to work was really quite different. So normally, we normally do place-based activities, but obviously with all of the lockdowns that we were facing, that was no longer a viable way to operate. But our community was still there. We knew that even though they couldn't come to the centres, that they were still there, and we needed to reach out to them. Yeah, a lot of it is just listening to community, working alongside community to problem solve whatever issues they're facing at the time, and working together to come up with some really good outcomes for everybody.
I think the biggest lessons learnt in the way that we've been working this year is never underestimate the power of community. It's amazing how many people came out to lend a helping hand, whether it was donating food for the emergency food relief or toys for the toy drive. We had volunteers come in to the soup kitchen and help out. And I think it's, really important to realise that, you know, people are generous and willing to lend a hand.
Yeah, in hindsight, there's quite a few things that myself and the team have learned that we would, you know, tell ourselves. So one of the big things was to lean on your team and stay connected with your fellow colleagues. We've learnt that, you know, we are a great support to each other, and it's been difficult not being able to sort of, you know, just turn to someone in the office and say, hey, what do you think about this? Or can I get your thoughts on this? Or I'm having this challenge. But to keep that up, but obviously online or over the phone. So just to sort of maintain that connection with our, you know, colleagues has been really important.
The critical learning I would share with my team at the beginning of a crisis or pandemic is that through disruption, enormous opportunity can be leveraged that forges and embeds improved practices.
If I could give myself any advice for the coming 18 months, it would just to be prepared to be flexible, be prepared to be agile, be prepared to have to change things on short notice, but also to really embrace the opportunities that brings.
So yeah, aspects that we will continue to communicate with the community and programs moving forward will definitely remain online in some way, shape or form, and some of our programs will continue to be online. We'll have a lot more use of social media, and we've got a wider range of community members now engaging with us via our social media pages and platforms. We'll continue around the mental health awareness and increase sharing our knowledge and our expertise in mental health with both young people and our staff, and obviously have a contingency plan around the social distancing and awareness around a COVID safe or a COVID normal.
There are a couple of things that we've definitely picked up and are keen to keep. Online programs is obviously a brand new space for us. It's something that we had to embark on, like I said, quite rapidly. But we've also discovered that there's still space for this. So even in the times that we have opened up and we've been able to deliver face-to-face programs, there is still space for us to deliver online programs if the audience is there. And another great opportunity that came out of Library Land more broadly during all of this is the ability to partner with other library services. So we're online. We don't need to only target Melton City libraries. We know that there are other, say, Western Melbourne municipalities that have quite similar demographics and interests to us. So why not work with them to promote to their audiences too, and be able to bring in a more broad audience to some of our events. So being able to broaden our audiences is also a really great thing and a really generous thing to have come out from the other side of this too.
To overcome these challenges, Council's economic development program and strategic plans had to be virtually reimagined. The team could no longer provide support to a business seeking growth opportunities, but rather had to provide survival pathways and strategies to all businesses operating in the municipality as a matter of care and due diligence. So first, we reset our minds to gain a clear understanding of what challenges our community were facing and what support they were seeking. We did this by personally calling thousands of business in the municipality to understand their status and individual challenges. We then created pathways for business owners to seek information and support that enabled them to survive, followed by recovery opportunities for a business to remain afloat or re-establish their service models.
And I think the other thing that we did for a significant part of lockdown, we're not doing it at the moment, but we ran an internal group called the Light Bulbers, which was bringing together staff from different teams in our department. And it was a way of kind of brainstorming and coming up with new ideas or putting new ideas to the group and, getting feedback from the group, getting some honest and constructive feedback from them about, changes. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? So I think bringing in staff, and that often brought staff in from, services that don't have that sort of opportunity. So as a community development worker, I'm always chatting with people and sharing ideas and getting input, but it was a really successful thing to do, particularly when we were developing a lot of new programs and a lot of new ideas.
The biggest learning here is that a pandemic doesn't have to be negative. We kept on always saying to the team, this doesn't necessarily have to be a negative, because we were watching, through our COVID stories, we were watching businesses come out of this better than they ever imagined, or reigniting some new ways of doing business, So we found ourselves in very much the same situation as them, reigniting a new way to do business with our businesses. So I guess the learning for other councils and whatever is that we learned to also reimagine ourselves, and the way we work. It was good.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sylvia, for sharing that. I'd like to just take a minute now to acknowledge my colleagues, Sylvia Velez and Alison LaRose, for coordinating and producing that great video. It took a lot of time and effort, and I just want to say thank you. It was fantastic to share that. Also, thank you to all the Melton City Council staff members that took time out of your busy day to take part in that video. We really do appreciate it. So we're lucky enough now to have some of the people that featured in that video with us today to answer some questions. So as promised, at the start of this session, this will be followed by a brief Q&A session. So we have received a couple of questions. So I will read some questions out now and direct them to the relevant people who they are addressed at. So the first question that we did have is directed to Darren Cunningham. So Darren, questions come through. How will you help community members transition to the new normal?
So, good question. Very good start, Adam. Look, we'll work with community, so particularly with seniors, to really rebuild their confidence, I suppose, as much as anything, to get back out into the community and get into this new COVID normal. So not only will I be looking to run a number of events, workshops, etc., particularly over the next few months, but little things like, making sure that we use the federal government's COVID safe logo. Now that doesn't really tell people much, but hopefully what it does tell them when they see that on flyers is they know that we're thinking about, sort of COVID and being COVID safe. So part of it is putting on events that get people out of their houses, get them socialising, get them moving, get them exercising again, but also being thoughtful to how we actually promote that, we are doing things as safely as possible. I've been at council a long time, and back when I started, it was often relying on my role to deliver a lot of things for seniors in the community. But the libraries, our community centres now run, probably dozens of programs for seniors. So whilst I'll be running a number of events and activities, I'll also be really supporting those community centres and our libraries to promote those programs and activities to seniors. So I've got a sort of fairly extensive network of local seniors. So yeah, those are some of the things that I'll be doing, and also in a really practical way, working with seniors groups as they start to come back and help them, get the QR code checking process right, supporting those that maybe don't have smartphones to, come up with a written way of recording people's vaccination status, etc. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Darren. Sounds like you got a lot planned and very busy times ahead, but it's great to hear what you'll be doing to help people find a new normal. The next question we've got here is addressed to Sara Restuccia. So Sara, is there a new approach to programming and to identifying community needs due to the new ways of connecting with community?
Thanks, Adam. Look, I guess that some of these approaches have sort of always existed for us, but I think that we're certainly doing some of these more actively. So an example is really keeping an eye on trends. So in this COVID space, that can be things like when they started talking about people getting vaccinated, us looking for some targeted information sessions for our communities on what they need to know about getting vaccinated and providing really kind of solid advice that have come up. We've been able to react quite quickly and provide that information to people. So at the moment, libraries have just reopened, and we're putting ourselves out there to people in the community to come to us if they need assistance with accessing their certificate or figuring out how to get that connected through MyGov onto your Services Victoria. So just looking for kind of timely things that we can do for people at this point where we're kind of almost living from the day to day. We're also pretty conscious of some of the work that's gone into the council report, COVID-19 social and economic impacts, and just having an understanding of the different community needs that came out of that. And constantly kind of talking to our colleagues about their experiences too. As Darren said, many of us are operating in very similar spaces. So talking to each other about the things that have worked or different ways that we can try something, and equally our participants. So now that our doors are open, it's a lot easier for us to get back to getting in the ear of people who come through the libraries and asking them what their interests are. But even when we were in that online space, we were constantly checking in with our participants about what we were offering, what we were thinking about offering, and kind of gauging that interest there to make sure that we are able to provide perhaps a perfect blend, or maybe we can try to, of face-to-face programming, as well as some online offerings, even though we are back on site, being able to find those kind of niche areas where online might still be really beneficial to some people.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing those insights with us, Sara. Really, really appreciate that. We have a question now that's actually aimed at two people on our that are here with us today. So this question is for Catrice and Mina. Is place-based programming changing to a blended approach?
So at the start of this crazy time, you know, back sort of in March last year, we actually started a YouTube channel to try and connect with community members. To this day, we've got around 2,500 subscribers, and we've had hundreds of thousands of views. So I think that's sort of shown that, you know, the reach to a lot of community members that haven't been able to access our centres for a range of different reasons. Yeah, can still link in and we can still work with them and connect. So I think in the future, yeah, we'll definitely be, you know, doing face-to-face programming, but also sticking with our online services too, and our online programs and workshops. What do you think, Mina?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this will give a community the opportunity to use the best of two worlds, enjoy all our ongoing online programs that we're producing as we go, and since we started last year, and also an opportunity for coming to the centres and do some programs face to face. So I think it brings a lot of accessibility to the community, and it's just making the programs, special online programs, really accessible for everybody. Thanks, Adam.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mina and Catrice. Really appreciate that. We've actually got two more questions left. So the next question I'll address to Lynn Harding. So Lynn, we've got a question here. Working across both the Community Connector Hubs and the Melton Local Project, what do you see as a priority for Council in 2022?
Well, thanks, Adam. Look, actually, a couple of the answers have already come up in previous, it's very similar to a couple of the previous answers. Probably, I think a big priority will be helping people reconnect and gain confidence in returning back to services or reaching out for help. So what we've picked up is a lot of people have got kind of used to being isolated in their homes, and the coming out of lockdowns can be a bit daunting. So supporting community to be able to reconnect and get back out in the community and connect with other people. Giving them confidence to do that, and supporting people. What we've also hearing is mental health has taken a big toll on people. So supporting community to access suitable mental health services, helping them to make those connections, because people have never actually, they're finding themselves in places, in situations that are quite unique to them, and they don't know where to go to reach out for help. So supporting our community members to find the appropriate services for things that are challenging them at the time. And also, we also know that a lot of people have lost employment during COVID. And a lot of businesses have closed, and people need support searching for jobs, and upskilling, maybe even changing career paths. It's an opportunity for them to look at, they've had time to reassess their life values and priorities, and are looking to change career paths as well. So supporting our community members travelling along that road as well, in upskilling, learning new ways to do things, accessing educational pathways, and looking for work, and supporting people in job search situations. So they're probably the three main areas moving forward.
Fantastic. Great insights, Lynn. Thank you for sharing that. We've actually got one last question here, and this is directed to Dell. Dell, are there now more opportunities to collaborate within Council because working online is not geographically bound? I think you might be on mute there, Dell.
Oh, sorry. Of course, I was the one to do that. I do think that there is the potential there. I think it's very dependent on the type of project that we might be working on. But I do think that it's a great outcome of the pandemic, is that now every staff member at every level of the organisation and outside of the organisation, mostly as well, does have the capability to work online and remotely, whereas previously that wasn't the case. So the fact now that we have removed those physical barriers to collaboration that were there previously, I think that there's definitely opportunities there.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. That actually concludes all of the formal questions that we've received. I don't believe there was any more in the chat here that I can see. Not that I can see. Nope. Well, it's pretty clear that collaboration, support, and staying connected are really at the forefront for everybody's work. And I think moving into 2022, there's some really exciting times ahead for our council and definitely for our communities and for the City of Melton. In closing today's session, even though the challenges were diverse across council for all the different areas, every area was able to adapt and to pivot to ensure that our communities were staying supported and staying connected. I'd like to thank everybody that's attended this session here today. A special thank you to those staff that have taken the time to answer some questions here today and provide some amazing insights. Thank you to Sylvia and Nicole for helping moderate today's session. We appreciate all of your time and support. Please be sure to visit the Global Learning Festival website to check out the amazing program of events that's still on offer. It's not too late to sign up and attend. Thank you once again, everybody, and have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.